Hi there, I hope you're doing okay wherever you are. Today's video I'm going to do my makeup while chatting and yapping, but I have a specific topic in mind. So currently I'm 35, I'm in my mid-30s, I'm well established in my 30s. These are the mistakes that I've made, and for the next half of my 30s and maybe even for life, this is how I plan to make a change and grow and heal when it comes to these 8 mistakes. So if that's something you're interested in, if you like makeup and yap sessions, then let's just keep on watching. I've already done my brows, I've already prepped my skin off camera, and I've already done my eyes and my lashes. I do have detailed videos about that, so if you want to check those out, I'll link them in the description. Mistake number 1, not being intentional enough about friendships, about building a community. Currently, it's something that I'm not proud of, something that I'm ashamed of, but the only way to move forward is to accept it and do better. I don't have friends. I really don't have friends. Right now, I don't have a person other than maybe my husband, but I realized our relationship is not the type of friendship that I desire. There are many benefits with being with my husband from a relational point of view, not just monetary, but from a relational point of view. But when it comes to having someone I can kiki with and hang out with, I really do not have that. I have no one I can call right now and be like, hey friend, let's go out for lunch this weekend, and I know they will be available, or if they're not, they'll be like, hey, how about next week, how about in 2 weeks time? You know, I really don't have anyone like that. I do have people that I talk to on WhatsApp, people that I know through my son, parents of my son's friends, or people I know around the neighborhood or family. There's no one that I really have who I can kiki with and just talk to and go out with and hang out with and be there for, plan a surprise party for, who I know will plan a surprise party for me, or a baby shower for me, or something like that. I really do not have anyone. So most of the time, if I want to talk, I talk to myself, I just journal. I've decided to join a connect group at church. Yeah, we meet every 2 weeks. You know, I know that just because I'm going to a connect group, I may not find a friend, but at least I'm not indoors all the time. I'm doing something. I'm trying something to try and be more social. Maybe, you know, be more social. I don't know. Through one of these things, I'll find a group, a community, a person. I've also joined a travel club. It's called Nolly Travels. Because of the finances, I can't go on their international trips. Right now I'm just joining their hikes. It's like 100 rand for the hike, and they do all the preparations. They host you. All you do is just show up, basically. And yeah, you just need to show up to that particular venue. So it's hiking trails. I've joined that. Hopefully, if my money comes right, I'll be able to join them. They have this trip to Mozambique that for 4 days, that just sounds so affordable. It's like 10,000 rand. I also want to go to Bali, so if Bali opens up, I want to go to that. The other thing I've done is that I want to start pole dancing. And that's a nice way to be out and social and meet people who are into similar things to you. So the traveling, the Christianity thing, as well as, you know, the pole fitness or the pole sport thing. Yeah, so hopefully I don't know how long it will take, but yeah, hopefully I build that community. And I'm also trying a lot to interact with the ladies or the women in my neighborhood. So I've joined a Stockfell. They have a lot but I'm just gonna join one. I can only afford to join one. They pay 300, then at the end of the year we buy gift vouchers for macro. So that's a nice thing for December, January. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see how it goes with the friendship thing. And the other thing is I'm trying my best to keep in touch with people, so initiate conversations, just be like, hey, hi, how you doing, you know, so that I'm not just talking to people when I need stuff from them, you know, asking for a favor, just social, hey, how are you? And to be more vulnerable, to take it to the next step once I see that, okay, here's a person I've connected with or could connect with, or they're open and they talk to me and they respond to my messages. I'm going to try and initiate like a friendship date. We go for coffee or something, you know, something, and see how it goes. Just do that. Yeah. Okay, so while my primer is drying up, let's go on to the second mistake, and they're in no particular order, by the way. The second mistake that I've made in my 30s and how I plan to fix it. I feel I haven't taken my mental health as seriously as I should have. To be vulnerable out there, I have been diagnosed with a mental illness. I've realized that I am a very sensitive person. I am a mentally fragile person. I want to build a life that accommodates, that is mindful of, that will allow me to cope and manage with mentally how I am as a person. Which leads me now to the third mistake that I've done. The relationships that I've had in my life, familial, platonic, romantic, pretty much there were no boundaries. I wouldn't even say I had flexible boundaries. There were no boundaries. I anxiously attached, and for me not to lose you as a friend, as boyfriend, whatever, as a sister, as a family member, I was never assertive. I didn't have boundaries. I would allow anything in and out. Because of it, I was more passive and passive aggressive at times. I always felt like a bystander in all of my relationships. I always felt like the other people got their needs met, but I never got my needs met in a relationship. I'm slowly introducing rules for myself in my relationship, what I will allow in and what I will allow out. So what I'm willing to do, what I'm willing to allow into my space. I'm trying, because I'm new to this, not to have too many, but enough that will allow me to have relationships with others where I feel joy, I feel peace, I bring joy, I bring peace. So I'm also trying to be as kind as I can to myself, because I'm not used to creating boundaries and asserting boundaries. There will be times where, because I feel like if I allow this, or if I don't allow this, this person's gonna leave. They're not gonna want to be my friend. They're not gonna wanna stay around. They're not gonna wanna hang out with me. They're gonna be angry. So there will be some times where, you know, I'm not able I really am not able to keep to that boundary, and maybe I lapse. But I'm gonna be kind to myself that I lapsed this time. The next time we will enforce that boundary in an assertive way. And if that means that friendship ends, there's conflict or whatever we need to address, then that's what it is. For me to have friendships, relationships where I feel like I'm not just a bystander, and I feel like I'm not just only meeting other people's needs and my needs are also met, I need to have such rules in my life, and I need to enforce them, and I need to be okay with the other person not being okay with the rules that I have in terms of what I allow in to my space and what I'm willing to give to others that are in my space. As a person who's trying to build friendship and community, it sucks because it could mean I'm alone and lonely and sad for a while, but I need to get over that loneliness and that sadness, because I am intentionally pursuing community and friendships, one day something will come out, you know. Better to have friends, to have a community that enriches you and who you enrich, than to just have a community and friends to take off something off the list just for the sake of it, you know. Let's wait for the concealer to dry a bit and talk about the fourth mistake that I've made in my 30s. That would definitely be my inner dialogue. I read my inner dialogue these past 4 years, 5 years, and maybe even my late 20s has not been the best. I need to be more compassionate with myself, more kind to myself. You know, I've said words and things to myself like, you're usable, you're dispensable, you're a failure, beggars can't be choosers, you need to accept whatever comes. What other words have I said? Because I do have notes. I'm usable, I deserve nothing, you're a loser, you're unlovable, what is wrong with you, you're useless, story of my life, you're a spoiled brat, ungrateful bitch. Don't forget which category you fall under. You're a beggar, not a chooser. I usually would say all these things when I feel rejection, when I panic, when the sense of sadness and loneliness comes to me, when I'm ruminating and I'm isolating, etc, etc. In those moments, I forget, or I forgot to not validate those words, to remind myself why I'm feeling like this. It's because at that particular time, I'm thinking about a situation that happened a year ago, a month ago, that's making me react in fear, feel the sadness, feel the loneliness, feel the rejection. I'm looking at the season of life that I'm in, forgetting about some of the positive things that may be happening, the moments of joy that I am getting in this season of my life that has not been the best. The same way those unkind negative words are aggressive, I need to be as aggressive with how I invalidate those unkind words, and I validate the kind words that come. You are not unlovable. You were rejected by so and so, but you're not unlovable. This potential friend that you're trying to build a friendship with, it may feel like they've rejected you, but are you not going on a hike with the ladies in 2 weeks' time? Did you not attend a connect group where your opinions were valued and your opinions were welcomed? When I remember how a person decided to leave me or to not be friends with me by blocking me, or I need to remember that there has been a time where a friendship has ended and it tapered out in a soft way, in a loving way, where we just readjusted the relationship and we never said unkind words. The fourth thing, remembering that there are seasons to life. It's as they said in Ecclesiastes, as Solomon said in Ecclesiastes, there's a time to cry, a time to mourn, a time to be happy. There's a time, and I need to remember that I'm not gonna stay in this season of my life forever. One day things will get better. Each day I wake up and I'm alive is a chance to try something as small as it may be, to be more at peace, to bring more joy into my life, to be more intentional, to learn from my mistakes, to try something else. It's an indication that it's not over yet, you know. It's just transient. This is just where I'm at for now, but things will get better soon. I just don't know when. I wish I had a timeline for when things would get better. Oh, I'm starting to cramp in my legs because I'm sitting on the floor. Oh, I'm sitting on the floor getting some fatty in my room. Yeah, so this season of my life feels like a season of waiting, a season of patience, a season of suffering. I just need to remember that there are many seasons in life, you know. There are many seasons in life, you know. And it feels like God is silent at the moment. Yeah, a lot is going on, Sham. A lot is going on in pretty much all areas of my life. All areas of my life. It feels literally like things are going up in flames, you know. And there's moments where things will be okay and I think they're okay. But when I have those moments or those few days where things are okay, I never enjoy them because I panic, because I'm just like, when is the next 2-3 weeks of being in a depressive mood gonna come? When is the next 2-3 weeks when I remember which season of life I'm in is gonna come? So I'm always pretty much feeling anxious in those 2-3 days where I'm okay, you know. But as Job said, you know, though you afflict me, in you I still trust. In God I still trust. In peace I will rest and sleep. For you alone, God, for you alone, Lord, keep me safe. The next mistake that I've made, but I feel like I haven't just made it in my 30s, I've made it pretty much since is placing my purpose or my sense of worth or my value in my job. I'm starting to realize that under capitalism, a job is you selling your labor so you can pay bills and make it or whatever. And I've stopped right now to put so much worth and value on the job that I do. Right now, if I'm being honest, I'm living under capitalism, and a job for me means surviving and possibly, if possible, living somewhat of a comfortable life. I know I won't be mega rich, but having a house that is comfortable to live in, living in an area where electricity and water doesn't just leave and no one gives a damn for a week or two. You have to go out in the streets and burn tires, where there's good sanitation, we don't have rat problems. Right now, where I live, you can walk down the street and be met by a dead rat or a living rat just running amok in the street. Electricity can just go off now, and electricity basically leaves us every day, every week, every other week for a day or two. Last year it was worse. It would be like a week without electricity. The last 2 years it was worse. It could be a year or two, a day or two without electricity. A week or two, like a week. Let me not say a week or two, a week without electricity. Being able to take your child to a school that's not underfunded, that has funds to build a library and hire teachers so that the classes are not overcrowded, hire security, hire receptionists, pay the teachers, hire extra teachers if they need to, you know, have PE sports grounds and all these things. So yeah, I'm trying my best to separate my self-worth, my purpose and my value in life from my career and my work. And since I've done that, it has lifted a lot of weight off of my shoulders. It really has lifted a weight off of my shoulders. I'm not so picky about what my line of work will be, as long as I'm helping people, as long as it's paying me a decent salary, and I'm getting, like, as I'm selling my labor, I'm getting paid a good decent amount to live, to take care of myself, to save up for retirement, rainy days, to take care of whoever I need to take care of, you know, help out when it comes to mutual aids or for other people that may have mutual aid funds going on or need help, you know, to buy food, to survive and live comfortably. I'm good. I really am good. It feels like I'm giving up, but I feel like it's me just realizing what type of a world we are living in. Yes, I will try and make sure that whatever career field I go into or whatever career field I'm in, there are some interests there, and I am able to do the job, so I can keep my job and get promoted. But I'm tired of this overachieving, over-pleasing, never being okay with the work that I'm doing, even though it's fine enough to bring those people a profit, and I'm doing a great job and I'm bringing the profit and I'm still getting paid and I'm meeting my KPIs, so I'm not put under performance reviews. I'm okay with that. I'm now okay with that. I honestly currently believe that the purpose and value of my life that God has placed in my heart, I can do anywhere, anytime, not just at my place of employment. And speaking about nihilism, capitalism, feminism, misogyny, all of these isms and phobias, I realized that I was getting sucked up. I spent too much time on YouTube watching commentary videos. A sense of nihilism started to kick in. It really started to kick in. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Once I started learning about all these systemic problems, the neocolonialism, colonialism, capitalism, white capital monopoly, colorism, texturism, featureism, and I was starting to realize that I want to be more socialist, more communist, and the roadblocks that are standing in our way to do that, when I meet up with people that are pro-capitalist and had no issues and were fine with the status quo, I really got sucked into a sense of nihilism. And with my current state of life where I'm at now, and me having depressive mood disorder, not a good combination. I realized that most of the systemic issues that we live in will not be solved overnight, and I was like, what is the point then? When I saw people rushing to go to the Chris Brown concert, when we in South Africa have domestic violence problems, we are not safe, our men are not good, and even the men that are good don't speak up to when their bros do bad things. They're just like, that's how the way it is. When I hear my husband saying, if R. Kelly were to come to SA, he is there. How do you not get sucked into nihilism? How do you not want to flick a magic wand and want it all go away, but realize it's not gonna go away? And you're just like, what is the point? What is the point? Here's something that I've started to realize, and that is how I'm currently gonna be dealing with the nihilism that I feel, that I really have no power and I feel powerless. I'm gonna do what I can. I'm gonna do what is in my control. I'm gonna give to the mutual aid funds that I can give to out of what I have. If I don't have enough, I don't have enough. But I'm gonna do the things that are in my power and in my control. I'm gonna join a community group that spends a weekend at children's homes, just talking to the kids at homes with abandoned children, older people, elderly people, helps out there, washes the dishes. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do my best to help out my community. I'm gonna do my best to try and get involved in grassroots organizations. I don't have much power to change right now where I'm at. As just a working class, middle class, whatever person. I don't have that much power to change policies there in Parliament. I get power once a year, once every 4 years, for the local government elections and the national elections. That's it. After that, there aren't really things in place to make sure that if my councillor doesn't do her work, we can get them fired or whatever. Like, I have a councillor here, doesn't even live in our area, is a white person, knows nothing about our area. So grassroots organizations that are geared toward socialism, communism, feminism, and Pan-Africanism, that's where I'm at. That's where what I'm gonna keep it at. It's gonna take decades to go from capitalism to a more communist while I'm doing the rest of my makeup, let's address the next mistake, and that would be not addressing my deep fear of being rejected by peers, as well as how much I've tried to socially conform. And this has led to things like people pleasing, codependent relationships, and inability to enforce boundaries, something that I talked about earlier. And currently I find myself broken and depleted, yet still never being fully accepted. I've done all the people pleasing, but I still haven't been accepted the way I thought all these things would make me feel accepted. I've accepted that I have many interests and views that don't overlap, nor do they fit social norms of the community I currently live in. Online spaces have helped, but I don't want to be chronically online. I am trying to find a pole dancing studio near me so I can start my pole dancing journey. I found church. I'm going back to church now with a different mindset. No longer expecting my church and all the people of my church to be perfect and pure. I'm no longer putting my pastor and the preacher on a pedestal. I'm going to church to be with other people who are believers of Christ, people who are flawed in every way and are just trying to make it. That's why I'm going to church. I'm going there to be in community with them. And I do feel like currently I have met a church that meets my spiritual needs and leaves me spiritually fulfilled. The way they do things is how I like church to be. I'm also on a journey to decenter romantic relationships and prioritize friendship. So I'm not canceling men or anything, by the way. I'm just trying to have a life that is not so romantic relationship centered and have a life that is community and friendship based. I really am at a point in my life where I've done everything, all the things that my mother, my family, the society said I should do, and I still failed at most things. So I'm at a point where I'm going to do me. I'm not going to be rebellious, but I'm going to do me. And if it fits in with the social norms, it fits in. I'm not going to do things that harm people, but I'm going to do me. I'm going to follow my heart. I'm going to listen to what God tells me, and I'm going to go ahead because I've done the people pleasing. I've done trying to socially conform. I've done being fearful of being rejected, and I still got rejected, and I still failed. So it's time to do me. It's time to listen to the voice within and forge ahead. Oh, and these are microlocks, by the way. I did a braid out. You saw at the beginning of the video I had braids. These are microlocks that I did a braid out on. I've had them for 8 months. If you want to see my 3-month microlock journey, then make sure to check out this next video over here. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you in my next one, a makeup and yap session. Bye bye.